doing tonight? My name is Bigbobbedboi and welcome to a DPS Warrior's Guide to PreRaid BIS in the Burning Crusade Classic. PreRaid BIS and TBC Classic is going to be different than other BIS lists you might be familiar with. The main goal of PreRaid BIS is to get you ready for raids, and you'll definitely end up in raids before you would ever complete a PreRaid BIS list. With Burning Crusade, we also get more freedom over our gear thanks to gems. We don't need to achieve a specific hit rating because we can compensate with gems and even hit food, not to mention the various plus hit buffs like Draenei and improved Fairy Fire. So with all that being said, most slots you don't need to focus on a single piece of gear. There will be a few that will work, but I will point out if there's one that's way better than the other options. And if you're coming from Classic with a geared toon, I'll go over a little bit of that gear as well. We'll go top to bottom because that's how I get down. Helms. Overlord's Helmet of Second Sight. This is not the best one, but it is very easy to get and it's not bad. It's from the Terra and Gorefiend questline in Shadowmoon Valley, which you're going to end up doing. If you have shit luck on drops because you don't praise Hunter Jesus, this is alright. If it happens to be Halloween, there's the Horseman's Helm. It's actually pretty good. 3 sockets and an on-use that will really annoy people. But it's only available during Halloween. Now unfortunately, the best helms aren't plate. Helm of the Claw, another very easy to get one. It's from the Warlord's Hideout quest, which is right in front of Steam Vaults. Meta and a yellow socket with hit, very solid. Best one though is Wastewalker Helm, which it's from Epoch Hunter Heroic and Durnhold, yeah. Now maybe you can get a group with some casters wanting to hit Trinket, but this one is going to be a bit annoying to get, although it is really good. Meta and a blue socket, hit, crit, and AP, very good. Shoulders, Rage Steel Shoulders. This is some nice shit right here. They're BOE, the pattern isn't very hard to find, and they're not even terribly expensive to make. 2 Primal Fires and some Corium. 2 yellow sockets, great stats. I would go for these for sure. If you can't get them for some reason, there are other options, but they're kinda shit. Wastewalker is again good, but it's from Avatar of the Martyred and Alkanite Crypt's Heroic. Yuck. I'll also mention, if you've got the Wastewalker helm, the 2-piece bonus could push this above Rage Steel though. And of course, the standard ass shoulders and TBC, Mantle of Paranoid and normal Durnhold. Jesus Christ, that's hard to say. I'd really just try to get the Rage Steel though. Chest, finally an easy one. There are actually a lot of good plate chest options. If it's cheap or you're a blacksmith, you can go for Rage Steel Breastplate. Now, it's much more expensive than the shoulders. Shit, 10 Primal Fires. But if you've already got Rage Steel Shoulders in your blacksmith, you can get the 2-piece bonus for the hit, which is not bad. More likely though, you're going to have one of these two. Blackened Chestplate or Breastplate of a Doll. Both are from quests that you're probably going to do anyway. Blackened Chestplate is from Showdown and Blade's Edge Mountains. And Chestplate of a Doll is from Special Delivery to Shatrath, which is part of the Arcatraz chain. You're definitely going to do that. Now, if you do happen to go armor smithing early, you can also get Breastplate of Kings. It's really nice, and of course upgrades eventually into Bulwark of Ancient Kings. Now normally you would go swordsmithing early for PvE or mace smithing for PvP, but it does exist. Man, isn't it nice to wear plate instead of leather? Bracers. Bracers are very easy. Nice. Alright, easy in the sense that if you've got a shitload of extra gold, it's easy. Black Felsteel Bracers. These are another blacksmithing BOE and are the best ones by quite a bit. If you can't get them because your server sucks so you spend all your gold on hose, the other options are a bit of a downgrade. Night Stalker's wrist guards are probably the best option even though they're green. You can get them from the Down with Daedalus quest in Netherstorm. Or the PvP ones if they're available. General's Plate Bracers for Horde, Marshal's Plate Bracers for Ally. These will cost a lot of honor and some marks. I believe it's Warsong Gulch marks for the bracers. Now there are some dungeon drop bracers like Bands of Sith from Sith no shit, and Sethic Halls. They're alright, but not really any better than Night Stalkers, and still worse than Black Felsteel. Gloves. Okay. Cobra Scale gloves, these are excellent, but they cost way too damn much. I'm not gonna buy these for pre-raid, and I won't blame you if you don't. 12 Primal Shadow and 12 Primal Air. If you robbed a liquor store or something and have the gold, then go for it. I mean, they are PreRaid BIS. For normal people, Rage Steel is probably your best option. Not as bad as Cobra Scale, but still, these are fairly expensive at 6 Primal Fires. Again, if you're a blacksmith, you should aim for that 2-piece. It makes these extra good. Similarly, Doom Plate Gauntlets. No crit or hit on these, but they have 3 sockets, 2 yellow, 1 blue. They also have a good 2-piece set bonus, granting 35 hit. If you happen to get another piece of Doom Plate, that's really nice. They drop from Keladan the Breaker and Heroic Blood Furnace. Another option for poor people is going to be Hand Grips of Assassination. These aren't bad, even if they're leather, but they drop from Aeonis and Black MORASS, and we're going to be running that a lot. So you'll definitely have a good chance at grabbing these. Belt. RUBIUM WAR-GIRDLE. Yeah! Look at this damn thing. It's amazing. 31 strength? Shit! No. No. It is not. This belt is as average gets. I have no idea why it's always so high on BIS videos. If someone does that, not okay. Girdle of the Mentor is better. Hell, Onslaught Girdle is better. The best option is going to be Girdle of the Death Dealer. Shit, it's leather. But it's really good. It's also not part of the Rogues Tier 2.5 set, even though it's the same name. It's from Aeonis and Black MORASS again. Yeah, I said we'll be doing that a lot. Bad thing is, it only drops on Heroic. You're going to be running Black MORASS so much though, you will have a chance at this. There's no reason not to do one on Heroic. Sakrathar's Girdle is another great option though. It's a very nice belt. It's from the quest Turning Point and Netherstorm. Now, this is a Scryer specific quest, but I'm probably going to go Scryer on my warrior anyway. I did a video on Aldor versus Scryer if you haven't seen it yet. There's a thing up in the corner somewhere. If you can't get either of those, Naru Belt of Precision from the Alcatraz questline you can definitely get. Even though it's got dodge on it, it's actually really good. Only other option I can recommend is the Marshal or General Belt if they are available. But they are a lot of honor, and I believe it's going to be 40 AB marks. Damn. I wouldn't get that if you're only interested in PvE, but if you're going to get it anyway because you PvP, then it's okay. Pants. Doomplate leg guards from Exarch Maladar and Heroic Alkanite Crypts, and Waste Walker legs in Heroic Mana Tombs from Nexus Prince Shafar. Now both of these are pretty good pants, but again, you get the 2-piece set bonus is where these really shine. I'd recommend either of these two if you have another piece of the set to pair with it. Now if you don't, I'd go with leg guards of the Shattered Hand. These are a BOE world drop. Price is going to depend on a lot of things, but if they're cheap, I'd grab them because they are quite good. Vanquisher's leg plates from Heroic Mechanar. These are also very good. 3 sockets is pretty much always good. Now, they're from Pathleon and Heroic Mechanar, but Heroic Mechanar is one of the easier heroics, so you could end up here. I ran this shit every day for that stupid sword and never got it. Midnight Legs, on the other hand, they're slightly better, but they're from Quagmiran and Heroic Slave Pens, so unless you're doing attunement or helping a caster get Quagmiran's eye, you probably won't be going to Slave Pens Heroic. Boots. Alright, for things you put your feet into, it's pretty good. You've got fell leather boots, another leatherworking BOE. These are really nice, and leatherworkers are going to be cranking them out like a Chinese Nike sweatshop because the demand for these is high. Lots of classes want them, but the mats aren't insane. It's 8 Primal Shadow, but that's not the most expensive Primal. I'd honestly just buy these and forget about it. Now, if you're unable to buy them because you're a broke bastard, then get Shatari Wrought Greaves. They're from the quest to clear Shadow Labyrinth, so no RNG involved. The quest is called Into the Heart of the Labyrinth. 2 sockets, good stats, very solid boots. Alright, let's move on to the bling now. Do they still call it bling blow? Neck. There are a lot of good necks and most of them are pretty equal. Once you've got the badges, Choker of Vile Intent. It's 25 badges sold by Garrus and Shatrath. Until then, I'd just use Natasha's Choker from the Houndmaster quest and Blade's Edge. There's only like maybe one blue drop neck that's better than Natasha's, and I'd say that's Trader's Noose from Menu and Heroic Slave Pens, and you might end up there again, but probably not. Even still, there's pretty much no reason to get it other than the cool name, I guess. The difference between it and Natasha's is just so small. Other necks out there like Soldier's Dog Tags, really they aren't even as good as Natasha's, so just pass on them. Wonder who Natasha is. Sounds hot. Rings. Even more so than necklaces, there are a ton of good rings. You're going to come across 2 good ones without any issue, but I'll throw out a few good ones that aren't a pain in the dick to get. Ring of Umbral Doom from Thorngrin the Tender and Botanica. Oh, so tender. You gotta do Botanica at least once, and it's not a hard dungeon, plus you gotta help those hunters get their Beast Lord. Kalon's Signet, so if you go Aldor, you can get this. It's from the Aldor questline in Netherstorm, like the Scryer one we talked about earlier. Slayer's Mark of Redemption, another quest ring, but it's not tied to a faction. It's from the Dissension Amongst the Ranks quest in Shadowmoon Valley. And another easy quest ring, Band of Anguish, from the News of Victory quest, also in Shadowmoon Valley. Trinkets. Well, one trinket is easy. Bloodlust Brooch. You get this from badges, just like the necklace you buy it from Garrus when you've got the badges. Now, the other trinket is a serious bitch. Hourglass of the Unraveler from Temporis and Black MORASS. Earlier I mentioned you'd be running Black MORASS. Actually, I think I've said that 7 or 8 times by now. This goddamn thing is why. It's pretty good and you'll likely use it a while. Now there are other good trinkets out there, but none of them are quite as good. You can get Abacus from Mechanar, it's okay. Or a Dark Moon deck, again just okay. Ultimately, you'll want to get Bloodlust Brooch and Hourglass though. Cloak. Alright, we needed an easy one after that trinket bullshit. Vengeance Wrap is a really good BOE cape made by tailoring, even has a socket. Honestly, the price might be really high at launch, but I'd expect it to fall. When I bought it on my Warrior like a month after TBC launched, it wasn't very expensive. If Vengeance Wrap ain't an option because you got mugged or something, go for Cloak of the Insider from Shadow Lab. You're going to do Shadow Lab a few times and it's a really good cape. It drops from Blackheart, the Insider. Another one that's only slightly worse is Alkanai Death Shroud. It drops from Avatar of the Martyred and Heroic Alkanai Crypts. Now, you might not end up in there a lot, but this is the same boss that drops the Wastewalker's shoulders. And Heroic Alkanai also has the Doomplate leg guard, so it's not a bad place to be for DPS warrior. Ranged. Well, we want the same thing hunters do actually. Marksman's Bow for Horde and Veteran's Musket for Ally. These are from Thrallmar and Honor Hold Exalted. Once you get the rep, just grab one of these. Until then, you can get Mama's Insurance. It's super easy to get and actually rather decent. It's from the Declawing Doomclaw quest in Netherstorm. While not as good as Mama's Insurance overall, you can get Skyfire Hawkbow because it looks dope as shit. It's from Warbringer, Omrog, and Shattered Halls, and it has hit, which can be nice. Weapons. Oh yeah, this is what we're here for. Let's look at the little Fury Sticks first. Obviously you want Drakefist Hammer. Not only is this PreRaid BIS, it's really good into tier 4, and of course you're gonna want to upgrade it a few times to keep it hard and straight. Now it is gonna take you a while to get the nethers, so until then, you can get Blink Strike if it's cheap enough, but it's probably gonna be expensive. Vindicator's Russell Brand if you're Aldor, you get that at Aldor Exalted, or the Blade Fist from Kargath Blade Fist in Heroic Shattered Halls, but you know what? Good luck with that shit, cause this thing broke my balls back in the day. I ran Heroic Shattered Halls every day for weeks because I wanted this thing and never got it. I didn't praise Hunter Jesus back then though, so maybe that's why, I don't know. Now, your offhand weapon, Fell-Edged Battle Axe. Get it. This thing is awesome. It sheaths on your back and just looks great. It's a BOE blacksmithing item and it's a really good offhand. If it's expensive or you're broke, alright, it's going to be expensive. It's 8 Primal Mites. you can aim for Latro's shifting sword from Aeonis. It's another black MORASS drop, and we know we're going to be there a lot. Now, if we're a few months into the X pack when you're PreRaid BIS gearing, the gladiator swords are great for Fury, so don't sleep on those. Now, what really matters is the big, fat, shafted tri-holding with both hands weapons. If you're not a blacksmith, your best option is Quantum Blade, which is from, oh, Jesus Christ, Aeonis and Heroic Black MORASS. I did mention we'd be going there a lot, right? Quantum Blade does look like ass, sadly though. Now, if you are a blacksmith, and you really should be, you'll want the weapon that corresponds to your smithing. Thunder or Lionheart. Mace is going to be the best option if you want to PvP a lot, and Sword if you only PvE. Now, until you can get those, I'd recommend one of the blacksmithing BOEs if they end up cheap, like Corium Champion. 6 Primal Might, so they probably won't be, but in case you have a Transmute Spect Alchemist alt or something, then you can get one of these. Most likely, you'll go for Illidari Bane Claymore. It's from the Quenching the Blade quest in Shadowmoon Valley and will be just fine until you can get your Thunder or Lionheart. Shit, that's all the slots. Nice. We got through it. But something I get asked is, how does PreRaid BIS compare to gear you'd be bringing in from Classic? So I'll briefly mention a few pieces here. Lionheart Helm is destroyed by Wastewalker Helm, not even close, plus the meta socket. Rage Steel Shoulders destroy Conqueror Spalders, so don't need those. Hive Defiler Wrist Guards are slightly worse than Night Stalkers and way worse than Fellsteel. Leg Plates of Carnage are still solid, but beat by like all the others I mentioned. Girdle of the Mentor is still good, but again, it's beat by Death Dealer. And that's pretty much the theme here. Nax gear is generally good, but PreRaid BIS gear is a little better. Liz actually thought this out pretty well. Not sure why I get asked this all the time. Yes, there are a few rare cases where an Axe piece will win, but it's really not common. So get ready for them dungeons, especially Black MORASS. You're going to be in there a lot. Who doesn't like MORASS though, right? Now this is where I would try to give you an efficient route for getting your gear, but there really isn't much of one for war. 90% of our gear is in 3 places: BOE crafted, open world quests, and Black MORASS. So my advice would be to knock out those quests, preferably at 70 for the gold. That will also help fund the BOE gear. And jump into Black MORASS whenever you can find a group, while taking care of your attunements and rep and shit. If you enjoyed the video, hit that sub button, bell, like button, share button, all that other shit. I appreciate each and every one I get. And we even have memberships now. You can check them out by clicking the join button right by the sub button. It is absolutely the best way to support the channel, and you'll get some really cool emotes. Plus it's way better and cheaper than a Twitch sub. I've got a lot of WoW content already on the channel and have much more coming, including streaming right here on YouTube, so be sure to stick around for that. If there's any specific WoW Classic or TBC Classic content you'd like to see, be sure to let me know in dim comments. But that is going to be all for this one. I really appreciate you all watching, and I will see you all for the next one.